Howdy y'all, and welcome into Wylie Sports Guy. I'm your host Clayton, and I'm so excited that y'all are here today on Thursday, May 22nd of 2025. Let's get into today's recap after a crazy day yesterday in sports. We'll start today off with the Rangers and Yankees game from last night. DJ LeMahieu hit a ground out at second base that would score Anthony Volpe in the bottom of the second. Jake Berger would hit his first of 2 home runs yesterday with a home run in the top of the 5th to give us the tie, and then a home run in the top of the 7th to give the Rangers the lead. Sam Haggerty would then extend the lead with his first home run of the season, also in the same inning. Cody Bellinger would then hit a bottom of the 7th solo shot to shorten the lead by 1. Judge would then hit a RBI single to tie it, scoring Paul Goldschmidt in the bottom of the 8th. And then Jason Dominguez hit a walk-off home run off of Luke Jackson in the bottom of the 9th to give the Yankees the win 4-3. Also, shout out to Adolis Garcia, who made a great catch in the bottom of the 5th against Paul Goldschmidt. Today's game will be at 11:35 on Victory Plus, with Nathan Eovaldi going for the Rangers and Carlos Rodon going for the Yankees. In our pitching stats of the night, Jacob deGrom went 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. Robert Garcia went .2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. And then Luke Jackson went .2 innings pitched with 1 earned run. Also tough news yesterday for the Rangers is Jonah Heim is now day-to-day with a compressed nerve in his throwing hand. Kumar Rocker could also be starting a rehab assignment later this week if everything is good, according to Sean McFarland of the Dallas Morning News. I forgot to mention this last week, but South Korean 18-year-old Sung-Jun Kim, who is a shortstop/right-handed pitcher, signed an international deal with the Texas Rangers. Also, I forgot to mention this on yesterday's episode, but Tuesday night, Bruce Bochy was ejected due to strike zone frustration that had been happening since the Rockies and Astros series, and he finally blew his top on Tuesday night. Now moving on to the NBA, where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP vote, but last night was a crazy night in the NBA as Game 1 at MSG happened between the Pacers and the Knicks. This was an incredible game through all 4 quarters. The Knicks had a big lead, 119-105 with 2:50 to go. But Indiana came back in the 4th quarter from 14 points down with big threes from Aaron Nesmith and Tyrese Halliburton at the end of regulation. But his toe was on the line, almost on a game-winning 3, but that ended up getting turned over to be a 2, and we went to overtime at 125-125, while after the shot, Halliburton was throwing up a choke sign. Since the game went into OT, this thing was still more incredible going into OT. Jalen Brunson gave the Knicks the lead 135-134, but then a big-time pass from Halliburton to Andrew Nembhard would give them a lead 136-135. Then Obi Toppin would hit a big-time dunk to give the Pacers the win 138-135 in Game 1 as the Pacers came back to beat the Knicks. Looking at the stats for the Pacers, the Halliburton had 31 points, 11 assists, and 4 rebounds, while Nesmith had 30 points, 2 rebounds, and was 8 for 9 from the 3-point line, which is insane. Siakam had 17, 6, and 5. Nembhard had 15. Turner had 11, and the Pacers had 27-4 points on turnovers. The Knicks still had a pretty great night from Jalen Brunson as he scored 43 points, 5 assists, and 1 rebound. Towns had 35 points, 2 assists, and 12 rebounds. Bridges was 16, 6, and 5. Anunoby also 16, but 2 and 3. Hart 8, 7, and 13. And that was an absolutely crazy night in the NBA. Game 2 tonight between the Thunder and the Timberwolves will begin tonight at 7:30 on ESPN. It is going to be another crazy night. Speaking of crazy, we'll now talk about the NHL, where Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Edmonton Oilers and Dallas Stars went on last night. By the way, shout out to PGA Tour champion Scottie Scheffler, who was also in attendance at the game. We started off the scoring with a Leon Draisaitl goal with assists from Nurse and McDavid to give the Oilers a 1-0 lead. Tyler Seguin would then hit an unassisted goal to tie the game at 1 going into the second period. Nugent Hopkins would hit a power play goal for the Oilers with assists from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Then Evan Bouchard also with assists from Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl would give the Oilers a 3-1 lead. But the thing was, there was a penalty by the Edmonton Oilers that would give the Stars the momentum with 3 straight power play goals. One from Miro Heiskanen at the beginning with assists from Mikael Granlund and Mason Marchment. The tying power play goal by Mikael Granlund with an assist from Heiskanen and Sagan. Then the leading power play goal from Matt Duchene with assists from Rupert Roope Hintz and Mikko Rantanen, where Duchesne accidentally hit Hintz as it came into the goal. Tyler Seguin then would hit a crazy backhand on from Sam Still as he tapped it in with help from Jason Robertson, and then Esa Lindell would hit a length ice-wide puck shot to ice the game 6-3. The Stars make an insane comeback after being down 3-1 in the game and would win the game. Post-match, though, a fight between Labushkin, Steele, Beck, and Dodonov and Bishel with Edmonton's Corey Perry and Nurse and others would end the game with quite the fire. And man, oh man, that was an insane game to watch. Game 2 will be on Friday night on ESPN. Tonight will also be Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Panthers and the Hurricanes. Now moving on to the NFL, where we had sad news yesterday from the Indianapolis Colts organization as their owner Jim Irsay passed away at the age of 65. My prayers and thoughts to the Colts organization and Irsay family at this time. Also, the Tush Push band failed. As a Cowboys fan, that's really unfortunate. Also, shout out to the offensive line who got a brand new award this year called the Protector of the Year. The NFL also approved players to be in the 2028 Olympics, but the biggest hurdle is an injury issue. Players being absent during the offseason, during portions of the offseason, and a chance of missing out on our top flag football players. Other rules include both teams will possess the ball in overtime, and any quarter an onside kick can happen. I'm so excited to see what this NFL season could bring. Moving on now to an NCAA Baseball Conference Tournament recap. Florida Atlantic yesterday beat Rice University 8-6. Texas Tech fell short in a comeback to Cincinnati 6-5. Southern Miss would win 9-1 over Texas State. Utah Valley beat UT Arlington 17-7. A&M would win 9-0 over Mississippi State. Texas Southern would lose 3-5 over Bethune-Cookman. DBU would win 5-3 over Liberty. San Jose State would beat New Mexico 6-3. Arkansas Little Rock would win 10-1 over Southern Indiana. Oklahoma State won 4-3 over Baylor. Oklahoma hanged on to win over Georgia 3-2. Grambling won 13-6 over Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then Houston beat Kansas State last night 9-2. In today's action, Texas Southern and Jackson State is currently going on right now, along with Texas State and Troy. Texas A&M will be playing Auburn here in about an hour at 11 a.m. on the SEC Network. Other games will include today Utah Valley versus Abilene Christian at 11:30. Cincinnati versus West Virginia. Shout out to my boy Reese. Good luck to the Mountaineers today. Texas versus Tennessee at 3 o'clock on SEC Network. Oklahoma State versus Kansas at 4 o'clock on ESPNU. New Orleans and Houston Christian at 6 o'clock in the Game 1 of the Southland Championship. At 6:30, DBU will be playing Jacksonville State. OU will be playing Vanderbilt at 6:30 on the SEC Network. And CCU will be playing Houston at 7:30 on ESPNU. And then UTA still waiting for their opponent, UT Arlington waiting for their opponent at 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN+. NCAA baseball is not the only thing that's going on today, as the first round of the NCAA Super Regionals will begin today, as Texas Tech and Florida State will play today at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. Part of a doubleheader with that is Clemson at Texas to wrap up the night at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Moving on to tomorrow's set of games, Georgia and Florida will play at 10 a.m. on ESPN2. Following them will be UCLA at South Carolina at 12 o'clock on ESPN2. Then we will see the last year's national champions, Alabama at OU at 4 p.m. on ESPN2. Right before them is Florida State and Texas Tech in Game 2 at 2 p.m. on ESPN2. Then we continue on the fun with Nebraska at Tennessee, also on ESPN2 at 6 p.m. Ole Miss at Arkansas at 7 p.m. on ESPNU. Then at 8 o'clock, Clemson at Texas, Game 2 of that series at 8 p.m. on ESPN2. And then the final game of the night, Liberty at Oregon, 9 o'clock on ESPNU. Today also begins the first round of the Charles Schwab Challenge in Fort Worth, Texas. The TV schedule goes like this. Right now on ESPN Plus from 8 to 4 on Thursday through Sunday, you can find coverage. But today's coverage for the afternoon will be from 4 to 7 on Golf Channel on Thursday and Friday. And then in the mid-afternoon, 1 to 3, Saturday and Sunday, also on Golf Channel. While CBS will take over the afternoon/evening coverage from 3 to 6 p.m. on CBS at that time. Now let's talk about the WNBA, where the Dallas Wings unfortunately fell short to the Minnesota Lynx last night, 85-81. Arike Ogunbowale had 21 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. Paige Beckers had her first double-double with 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist. Hines Allen and Carrington both had 11 points. Smith had 8 and Segrist had 7. Neficie Collier led the way for the Lynx with 28 points. The next game for the Wings will be at the Atlanta Dream at 2 p.m. on CBS Sports Network Saturday. Now let's talk about NASCAR this weekend that will be happening at Charlotte. Friday night, the truck race gets going at 7:30 p.m. on FS1. Saturday afternoon at 3:30, the Xfinity race will be happening on the CW. And like I told you yesterday, the Cup Series race from Charlotte, the Coca-Cola 600, will begin at 5 p.m. Central on Prime Video, with a pre-race at 4 p.m. on Prime Video. Finally, let's talk about FC Dallas, who lost in a heartbreaker last night between the New York Red Bulls in the first round in a round of the U.S. Open Championship. The Red Bulls would end up winning 4-3 on penalty kicks. The goals from New York before the end of regulation were from Sofo and Forsberg, and Kamungo and Acosta hit the 2 goals for FC Dallas. The 4 penalty kicks made were from Choupo-Moting, Edelman, and Forsberg. Well, unfortunately, only 3 came from Dallas. That came from Moore, Farrington, and Farfan got the penalties for Dallas. Well, guys, that is the end of our recap today. I'm so excited that y'all joined me today. Guys, keep God first. God bless. Well, guys, thanks for joining me today on Wylie Sports Guy. I hope y'all enjoyed this coverage. We will see y'all tomorrow, but remember, keep Jesus first. God bless. Don't mess with Texas. I will see y'all guys tomorrow.